Hello friends, I hope you're well. I hope you're missing us at Ironmaha, Navan Fort, as much as we are missing you. You can see that I'm being very well looked after here in Corcreha, Cooside, by the people who are hosting me while I am not at home. And you know, I'm eating this food and it reminds me of a great tale. Well, it was more a problem to begin with. You see, King Conor MacNessa had three great warriors, each as strong, each as skilled, and each as brave as the other. But the problem was, our law of hospitality means you can only give one of them the best cut of meat and the best cup of mead. One does not go into three. What was poor King Conor to do? He thought long and hard and he couldn't think of anything that could distinguish one from the other. So he went to Cathbad, his druid, and he said, Cathbad, I have a problem. I have to give one of my warriors the warrior's portion. And I have three great warriors, three champion warriors. But I can't decide which one is deserving of the warrior's portion. Luckily his druid was wise and he stroked his beard and he thought, and he said, I know Conor. We know they're strong, we know they're skilled, and we know they're brave. We will do a test to see if they can keep their honour. Conor thought about it, thought he had nothing to lose, spat in his hand and shook his druid's hand. And he said to his druid, what happens if all three fails? And his druid says, well then, they weren't deserving of the warrior's portion. So, Conor accepted his druid's words. So we had a great feast, and everybody was gathered at the feast. There was much merriment to be had. And all of a sudden, the skies turned black. And there was a sound of howling wind. And there was thunder and lightning and heavy, heavy rain. And the next thing, the fire went out, and standing in its place was a horrible, evil monster. So grotesque, people screamed and children covered their eyes. And the monster screeched, who is the greatest warrior of Ulster? One of the young warriors stood up bravely and said, I am, and what is it to you? The monster dragged himself over to the young warrior, looked him in the eye and said, tonight, boy, you will chop off my head. Then I will return for yours. Well, the warrior burst out laughing and thought, if I chop off this monster's head, he will be dead. The young warrior took out his sword with an almighty strike, took the monster's head off and it threw through the air, and it landed with a thud. But was the monster dead? No. The head flew back, landed on its shoulders, fixed itself in place, and the monster looked at the young boy and he said, your turn. Well, what do you think happened? Do you think the young warrior waited? No. He ran off, never to be seen again. And a curse fell upon everyone in the room and no one could remember. So the feast continued. The fire was roaring and there was much merriment to be had. And all of a sudden there was a sound of thunder and lightning, a howling wind and heavy, heavy rain. And the fire went out. And once again an evil monster appeared and he screeched, who is the greatest warrior of Ulster? And this time there's only two warriors. And one of the two stood up proudly, shoulders back, and he said, I am. And what is it to you? And the monster, with his one good eye, looked him up and down. He said, tonight, boy, you will cut off my head. And then I will come back for yours. The young warrior laughed to himself and he thought, surely if I chop off his head, he will be dead. He ran over, took out his sword and split the monster in half. Blood, guts and brains went everywhere. But was the monster dead? No. The monster fixed himself back in place, looked the young warrior in the eye and he said, your turn. Well, did the warrior wait? No. He ran away so fast he left his shadow behind, never to be seen again. And a curse fell upon everyone in the room. Then the feast continued. And all of a sudden there was a sound of thunder and lightning, heavy rain and howling, howling wind, and the fire went out. And standing in its place was the evil monster and he screeched, who is the greatest warrior of Ulster? The monster this time was so grotesque, his breath so evil, people's skin was burning. And the one young warrior left stood up and he said, I think that is me. The monster dragged himself over, looked the warrior up and down and he said, tonight, boy, you will chop off my head and then I'll be back for yours. The young warrior thought about it and thought, well, If this is how I'm going to die, this is how I'm going to die. He spat in his hand, took the monster's hand, shook it, and with that struck the monster's head, and it flew off into the air and landed with an almighty thud, breaking into thousands of pieces. But was the monster dead? No. His head flew back into all its pieces, fixed itself in place. The monster looked the young warrior in the eye and he said, "Boy, it's your turn." Well, do you think the young boy ran away? No. He took off his top. He exposed his neck. He looked his friends up and down, bade his farewell, and lowered himself for death. The monster took out his sword, twice as long and twice as sharp as the young boy's. With an almighty glint, came fast down upon the young warrior's head. But did he kill him? No. The sword vanished. The evil monster disappeared, and standing in his place was Cathbad, King Conor's druid. And he said, "Conor, this is the greatest warrior of Ulster. Not only is he strong, not only is he brave, not only is he skilled, but his word is his bond. You can trust him with anything." And with that point, the young warrior was given the warrior's cup, the warrior's portion, and everybody cheered out his name. And who was that young warrior? None other than Cuchulainn.